Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good day to all of you. My name is Ahmad Athif Faudzi from University Technology Malaysia, and today I'm very happy to share our topic on three different kind of technologies: the robotics technology, Internet of Things, and also artificial intelligence. And we're going to see how this technology can be applied to precision biodiversity. So I remembered when I was back in 1992, around standard 3 or 4, where I participated in a LICI competition in state and national level. And I won first place in both national and also in state. And this is one of my experience on how I started the robotics journey. And I thank to my parents who have been giving me opportunity to learn and also explore myself. And today I'm the director for a center called as CAIRO, Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, where we have developed different kind of robotics systems, underwater, ground, and also currently we are collaborating with different kind of partners. This is a photo of my team and also team from Jabatan Bomba, where we are collaborating with them to develop early reconnaissance robots to observe the condition of different kind of dangerous gases in any unknown environment. So let's start with how robotics technology can be used in precision biodiversity. Malaysia have been known as one of the country with a mega diverse availability of flora, fauna, with 33 million hectare of the land areas. So we have around 15,000 species of vascular plants. We have 150 species of invertebrates and hundreds of species of mammals, amphibia, reptiles, birds, and fishes. So currently, under ASM, we are collaborating together, UTM, UPM, FRIM, and other stakeholders to achieve three different quick wins. The first one is digitalization and database integration. Number 2 is biodiversity analysis. And number 3, we want to observe the forest area, or we call it as forest monitoring. So this is some of the photos of our team visiting Pasoh area. And Pasoh Negeri Sembilan is our target study, where we have visited some of the operators in Pasoh and FRIM, how they conduct the current study, and we want to observe how robotics, IoT, and AI can be used to assist the current methods of data taking and improve the process of precision biodiversity. So one of the technology that we would like to propose is using legged robots. Okay, now we are talking about how robotics can be used in PBD, precision biodiversity. Legged robots have the ability to navigate in different surfaces. So like us, we can walk, we can jump, we can run, where we have limitations of wheel robots, because wheel robot normally requires path to travel, whereas legged system can step over isolated path. And in forest, we know that we have uneven terrains, which make it difficult to travel. So the legged robots can be made possible to have different kind of sensors, where we can do biodiversity sampling, we can count and map organisms, and we can do recording of biotic and abiotic environmental characteristics. So by having one sensor called as LIDAR, we can perform the accurate 3D mapping, and from there, we can also calculate the diameter at breast height, and normally it is 1.3 meter from ground. And from here, we can understand how trees can provide the carbon stock for Malaysia. So next, we have the other kind of robots, where we normally maybe use it as our hobby for flying drones. But some of the studies under CAIRO, conducted by our member, Dr. Zul Hilmi, so he's been using drones for livestock counting. And here we can see how drone can be implemented with artificial intelligence. And by a glance of a picture or maybe videos taken, we can calculate 24 different cows at one area in a very short time. So next, we would like to move on to the second topic of IoT. Okay? IoT refers to Internet of Things, where we see that currently we have many devices. okay, around our houses. Even some of the clothes are now having connections with our monitoring system. For example, some of the studies are currently being done to identify how sportsmen can improve the performance, okay, in terms of the movements and also the motion of themselves to perform a good sports. So we use IoT in biodiversity in one of the Taman Rekreasi, Paya Bakau Si Jangkang. And this is a study under Meta project in collaboration together with UTM, UPM, and UKM with other universities, locally and also internationally. And we have used different kind of sensors. And some of the sensors are the multi-parameter environmental sensors, where we measure the intensity of light, the wind directions, the temperature, the humidity, and so on. And we use LoRaWAN technology to achieve the connectivity in Si Jangkang Paya Bakau area. So if you can visit the website meta.loranet.my and /dashboard, you can see the current live data of how the condition of Paya Si Jangkang are being recorded, and we can monitor the condition directly, okay, live. So next, we want to see how this IoT system can be trained as early as possible, okay? Maybe for university students, currently we are approaching the first year students. So these are some of my students, and not all. So they have actually developed some projects for plant monitoring. So one of the groups are using onions, some of them are using mints to observe. We have also Brazil vegetables, okay, bayam Brazil. So this is how we monitor and see the growth from day 1 until day 14, because we have like around 2 weeks of monitoring. And Alhamdulillah, they have successfully used this kind of IoT technologies to observe and record the data. Okay, next, we would like to go for the final topic of our discussion today, which is the AI technology. So we have talked about robotics, we have talked about IoT, and the last one will be artificial intelligence. And normally, this technology can be used together. And we see that now people are talking about ChatGPT, one of the recently being mentioned in many of the platforms, how it can be used for good and also maybe can be used for different kind of ways. So we want to see how the ability of AI can be used for good in terms of the ability of the system to perform the activity that require human intelligence, okay, such as speech recognition, decision making, and also visual perception. So in the study that we are conducting, we can see how we can use AI for object counting. Okay, so for example, in this video, you can see there are 2 lanes, the upper lane and the lower lane. So the upper lane are moving from right to left, and then we can see the lower lane to move from left to right. So in a very short time, AI can help us to do counting of the numbers of cars with a certain threshold that we have. And we can also use AI for object recognition. So for example, in this video, you can see different kind of vehicles can be detected. So some are cars, some are trucks, and the accuracy of the algorithm can be increased with the number of the data set that is available. Okay, let's see how AI can be used in precision biodiversity or biodiversity per se. So we are currently conducting another research with Department of Fisheries, so together with UTM under NCTF grants. So for an endangered species underwater, which is called as giant clams or tridacnus species. And tridacnus species is one of the largest bivalve mollusk in the world, and we have it here in Malaysia. And what the current study that we use, we apply robotics technology, the underwater drone, we say, ROV, to observe the availability of the giant clams and study the population, okay, from time to time. And we see the roles of giant clam is important to clean the seawater. It can provide shelter for fish and also food to local organisms. So how we do that? We use an algorithm called as YOLO. And using YOLO, we are going to train. This is some of the trained data, and one of my students is working on this study, where we can see different kind of numbers are appearing here. and the higher the number, until 1 shows the accuracy of the data being taken. Okay, so the accuracy will be increased again by the model that we have developed, and the more data we have, the more accuracy of the system can be made. Okay, so this is some of the videos that we took from Oceania to do some testing of our algorithm that we have modeled. Okay, so back to our study that we are currently working on in Hutan Simpan Paso. So one of the other studies that we are also using AI is to do the animal detection, okay, the vertebrate detection by using camera trap. So one of the current staff of FRIM are currently studying with some of the other stakeholders locally and internationally to understand the condition of the animals around Hutan Simpan Paso. You can see this different kind of cat, which is normally not available around us. And this is a leopard, black leopard, and we have tape and some other different kind of animals. So the current study has some limitation in terms of the way that we have to collect the data. So we are now thinking together how we can use AI to do detection and also sending the data directly to the monitoring or the dashboard for us to understand the actual condition at that particular time. So this is one of the advantage of using both together AI and also IoT in transferring the data. Okay, so I would like to change another view, okay, on animals to flora, okay, and we can see here we are talking about animals, drones just now. And these are some of the photos being taken at the back of my house. So we have 1, 2, 3, I think here roughly around 10 photos. So maybe some of you can guess, okay, what are those leaves representing the names of the plants, okay? So maybe some of you are now guessing, and some of these are plants that we can always consume. Okay, you want to do nasi lemak, you have to use this leaf. You want to eat with ulam, you can eat with this. But for some of people, maybe they don't know. Okay, and this is where, with technology of AI, we can collect the data and we can use it for train our generations. Okay, and also maybe for husband who don't know some of the plants. So this is nenas leaf. We have lobak merah, kangkung, labu, zucchini, tembikai, and daun pudina. We have ulam raja and also daun kari. So what we can do with AI, we call as one of the methods that we are trying to collaborate together with some of the researchers to collect many data, and then we can use this as an app. And in UK, they have an app called as FAScinate. So by having the data being taken, so the user can identify the species and also can add those data in our database to increase the accuracy. So last but not least, I would like to conclude, okay, the 3 technologies that we are talking together. The first technology is on robotics, the second technology is on IoT, and then the third technology is on artificial intelligence. So we see together in our task force and also working group for the precision biodiversity, the precision biodiversity can give us at least 3 different kind of advantage. Okay, the first one, we can discover the ability to detect and profile different species, maybe plants, maybe insects. And this will be enriching the botanist's intelligence by using AI and robotics. Secondly, we can use the PBD with the technologies to preserve and conserve. Okay, the ability to inform with the plant growth, the mortality, and the new being, and also to see the factors that contribute to the biological evenness. And lastly, we have the technology that we have mentioned today to see how it can be efficient in reducing time, effort to collect, profile, and analyze the data of flora, fauna, and also the environment of the biodiversity area that we are targeting. So I would like to close with one surah, which is Surah Al-Imran, verses 159. فَإِذَا أَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. So when we have a good goal or a good directions, so we have to put our effort together and try to achieve the best in what we are doing. So with the technology that we are talking about today, robotics, IoT, and AI, so let us increase our knowledge see how we can use it for the betterment, and also applying it together today for precision biodiversity, but maybe for other different kind of application as well for the betterment of Malaysia. With that, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.